What's up, you two? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan and Nick Fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop? Hit the notification bell. All right, y'all. Let's get into this video. Before I start, I want to talk about one thing. One thing I want to talk about is that Boston game. I'm not really going to talk too much about the Boston game, but I want to say one thing about that game is who was the best Jalen? The doubters, like, okay, Tatum got hurt. If y'all have been watching my channel, y'all already knew my prediction. I already said that the Knicks was going to take this in 6. But the blatant respect, the disrespect that everyone showed my team. I mean, Tatum went down. As I said, I had the Knicks taking it in 6 anyway. Tatum goes down, and they still had the Boston Celtics as a favor to come out on top of the New York Knicks. I didn't understand that. And the reason why I said who was the best Jalen, because they was talking about it. And first thing I want to talk about is the excuses. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm hearing people talking about Brown knee injury, torn, whatever he had, whatever injury it was. But we knew this going into the series that Brown wasn't 100%. Now, once Tatum went down, I would think that the NBA and the rest of, even Boston fans would agree that the New York Knicks was the favorite. But no, the Knicks still didn't have a chance in that series. Everybody like the Knicks, once Boston won that one game, the Knicks are done. Boston taking this in 5 and 6. Excuse me. I found it very disrespectful. I'm just going to be 100% with you. But we seen the outcome. But like I said, I don't want to hear no excuses from nobody about the Boston series. Like I said, we're going to get into this Pacers series, but I just wanted to get this out before I move on to the Pacers. I don't want to hear no excuses because y'all knew what the Celtics was working with. Y'all still put the Celtics ahead of the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know, and I seen the outcome. I don't care what happened in the regular season. It's a different ball game when the regular season is done. And Boston wasn't putting that much better stats up than the New York Knicks. Yes, they was beating teams and blowing teams out, but they averaged 116 points per game as the New York Knicks did. All right, now let's get into this Pacers game. Well, it's going to be a series. It's going to be 3 things that I really want to talk about in the series. The first thing I'm going to talk about, everybody talk about the regular season. The Knicks, I ain't going to say dominated. Well, you can say they dominated the way they scored, but it's 2-1 series. The Knicks beat them. But as we remember, last year in the semifinals, Indiana Pacers, the Knicks dominated them that year, beat them, I think 3-1 last year, and we lost to them heartbreaking fashion in Game 7, as you see down here in the semifinals. And the first thing I want to talk about before I really get into the playoffs and everything about the regular season, as I just spoke upon, the Knicks. I have the Knicks taking this series. I'm giving you my prediction. I'm gonna give it to you early, and then I'm just gonna talk about it because I want to say 5, but I feel 6. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all might think sweep. And the only reason I'm going to be real with you, I know how good the Pacers are playing right now, but I really think it's possible that the Knicks could sweep them. And here's why. Last year, they did beat us in the playoffs. Yes, they did. But you have to look at how depleted the New York Knicks was. Brunson was basically our only offense that we really had. Mitchell Robinson went out. Julius Randle, Anunoby. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have Mikal Bridges. So you think about what we have right now compared to what we had last year when we went up against the Indiana Pacers. This is why I say a sweep in my mind is possible. I know that transition offense that the Pacers is running. I know. It looked very good. We're going to get into their stats into the playoffs as well. But it's going to be 3 key players that I think that's going to be, 3 for the Knicks and 3 for the Pacers. That's going to play a big part in this series. All right, but before I get into that, we're going to continue about the regular season and what I think will happen in the playoffs. And like I said, my prediction is that the New York Knicks, I'm predicting, Yes, as I said, in 6, and it seemed like I'm going to constantly go with 6. I had 6 with Detroit. I went with 6 in the Celtics series, and I'm gonna go with 6 here. Now the Knicks can surprise me and take this series in 5, but I definitely have the Knicks winning this series. I wanted to update my prediction for the playoff chart. I have the New York Knicks meeting the Minnesota Timberwolves in the finals, NBA finals. I actually had the Nuggets knocking off. Denver Nuggets knocking off OKC. I was wrong. But I still have Minnesota going to the NBA Finals, playing New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. I still think that's the matchup to watch. I know the Pacers. The Pacers is going to be a different ball game, all right? Because everything we just faced, they are in one. They have the whole combination. When we went up against Detroit didn't really have the offense to match our team. Let's be real, but they had that defensive intensity. You know what I'm saying? They had that defensive intensity. They was known as the so-called bad boy of this year in the NBA playoffs. Then when we met the Celtics is not a real physical, tough team. They more finesse and outscore you. You know, something like Cleveland. That's why I had the Pacers beating Cleveland. I'm gonna be real, and I'm not a big. I don't believe in Donovan Mitchell, so I'm actually glad that we didn't sign him or whatever the case may be. But the Celtics is not a real tough team. You know what I'm saying? They good. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice offense, but they're not a tough team. But when we come against the Pacers, and I'm not saying everybody on the Pacers is a tough matchup, brutal defensive player, but they have a couple of guys that we seen last year that did play Brunson well. And like I mentioned earlier, that Brunson was our whole offense, you know what I'm saying? So it was the wear and tear on them. But there was a couple of guys, and that was Nemhard and who else? Naismith. They gave Jason Brunson a little bit trouble last year's series, and not to mention, wasn't Naismith that hit that 3 to propel him into Game 7, and then I think hit the 3 to win the game. But like I said, the Knicks wasn't at full capacity last year when they met the Indiana Pacers. So this is why I say, if you want to think about it, a sweep could be possible. I'm still picking the Knicks in 6. You know what I'm saying? They will surprise me if they win it in 5. But I have them going to 6. All right? So let's move on. My key players in this game is going to be Karl Anthony Towns. In the previous matchup, the Knicks won this game 128 and 115. That was February 11th this year. Towns had 40 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. Siakam, he is a player that I have, actually, am I worried about Siakam? Siakam's going to be a problem. See, I'm not going to talk about Halliburton and Siakam because we know what we expect from them. And we know what to expect from Brunson. And the thing is Cat, you know what I'm saying? Cat showing up, being aggressive. In the last 3 matchups, he played decent. In the last game, he dominated. So he's going to be a real integral part in this series. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me, I apologize. He's going to be. We're going to need Cat to really step up in this series. I know, you look at his stats in the last series and what he's averaging in the playoffs. One would say, okay, he's on the roll. But we've seen some games that looked shaky. And what I want Cat to stop doing, I'm going to be real with you. What I want Cat to stop doing is
whatever he wanted, and he's
complaining to the referees. You know what I'm saying? He got to stop complaining to the referees. Get his points, turn around. If he don't make the shot, he get fouled, whatever the case may be. Stop falling to the floor, flopping. Try to hold your composure. Try to stay up so that you can get back down court and play defense, especially with the Indiana Pacers, because the Pacers, they run a transition offense. They like to move that ball. They like to get back down the court. So all that falling after every shot, we can't have that in this series. We cannot. You got to stay upwards, and if you miss the shot, you got to get back on defense. Like I said, Cat is going to be a very integral part in us beating the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think Mal Turners can hold him. But the thing about when, excuse me for a second there, then we have that little last clip in there. Sorry, I apologize for that. But Cat is going to be very important for us in this series. He's going to have to get out there and dominate. I'm expecting Siakam. I'm going to be real. Siakam should average what? What's Siakam averaging in this series right now? What's that, 19 points? Excuse me for a second. 18 points. You got Halliburton averaging 17 points. Miles Turner averaging 16 points. Andrew Nembhard 14 points. Naismith, what's that? 14 points. And Mathurin 10 points. Now, my biggest concern, 3 players I'm worrying about on the Indiana Pacers. I know Halliburton going through his thing. I mean, he's going to get his assists. He can be hot one night. He can be cold the next. But he's going to get his points, and he's going to get his team involved, and he's going to make them plays that we've seen him made against Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see them plays from. But my biggest concern with the Indiana Pacers is going to be Turner, Miles Turner, Mathurin, and T.J. McConnell. T.J. McConnell is all energy. He runs, and as I'm gonna be real, he's a Knick killer. We've seen what he's done against the New York Knicks in previous games. We're gonna have to have somebody to match that intensity. We can't have Brunson holding him because Brunson is gonna have to be our offense. So we can't have him running around chasing him all night. So who's we gonna have to really defend him? I still have the Knicks coming out in this series in 6. It's going to be a fun matchup. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping Towns come out, but if Towns will come out, don't do his thing. When I look at the Knicks, my players for the Knicks to come out in this series is going to be these 3 players. You just heard me talk about Towns. Josh Hart, I think Josh Hart rebound ability and to have them nights because let's face it, in that Detroit game, they was giving him, and I like that. I'm going to be real with you. I was upset in Detroit game where he was hesitant to shoot and everything. I'm not saying I'm liking that, but I'm liking that now he's finding his rhythm. You know what I'm saying? He's taking his shots. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is that team's already been scouting him, so they've been giving him that open shot, and he's taking advantage of that. Well, he took advantage of it in Boston. He got to continue that in the Pacers series. But what we're going to need him to do is to hit them boards. But like I said, my concern is Miles Turner's, because Josh Hart is going to be playing him. Josh Hart most likely going to be playing defense on him a lot, on Turner. And Turner's a big that can shoot the ball. He can stretch the floor. We're not going to see Towns on him unless we go with Mitchell Robinson and Towns. When we bring them in, we might see Towns on him. But for most of the night, we're going to see Hart on Turner. But we're going to need Hart to do what we're doing in this video, rebounding and getting points and everything. But Anunoby is going to be another guy that have to step up in this series as well. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely going to have to step up, come out, do his thing. And he seemed to be slow. Like he comes along, game 1, he have that game, but his defensive presence is always there. It's just that he's going to have to step up in this series even more than last series. And I mean, when I say step up, I mean up on the offense department. He can't start off slow like he did. I want at least 18, maybe 15 to 18 points out of Anunoby in this series. As long as he keep the defense up that he's been putting it on that throughout the playoffs, I'm good. Mikal Bridges, I want to see at least 20 points. Mikal Bridges got to score at least 20 points. 20 points, unless Brunson's going to have to average 35 and Towns going to have to average 25 for us to beat the Pacers. The one thing I do worry about in this series is that, their coach, they feel like they run the bench. 11 guys, man. You know what I'm saying? 11, let me see something here. You got 10 players on the Pacers that average 19 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That average 19 minutes per game. So they really spread the love when it comes to the rotation. They try to wear down their teams with over usage of the bench, everybody. But the thing that I know, if you've been watching my videos throughout the season, I know you gotta know I'm part of that minute police. Now, this is when I'm seeing like I'm contradicting myself, because this is when in the playoffs, it's really actually paying off. What Tibbs had put these guys through in the regular season, the minutes, the grueling sessions that we were up 40, I ain't gonna say 40, but 10, 15 points, we still in there. He's not putting the guys that start of the bench into 2-3 minutes, which I think hurt the bench. You know what I'm saying? But Miles McBride has been brilliant brilliant. Miles McBride has been brilliant in the Celtics series. He was kind of lost in that Detroit series, but missed you over 50% in that goddamn Celtics series. So I'm expecting to see that more of that, and that's a guy that we could put on T.J. McConnell. You know what I'm saying? When he come in, we got to have Miles McBride in it. I forgot about that matchup part. Excuse me. But yeah, getting back to what Anunoby and Josh Hart need to do, and Mikal Bridges, these guys are going to have to score. They're going to have to keep pace with the Pacers. That transition offense is killing teams. They're basically 8-2 in the playoffs, so they basically ending teams 4-1. You know what I'm saying? They ending their series 4-1. You know what I'm saying? And the Knicks like to take it to that 6. Like I'm saying, I'm giving it 6. It's possible the Knicks can come out with a sweep. I'm just saying, hey, I know that ain't gonna happen. But if you look at last year and what the New York Knicks did, being up in that series, actually going to the 7, we supposed to have won that series, but injuries really took us out of that series. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got the Pacers taking us out, but they're not looking at the fact that Brunson had no help last year, and we went to Game 7. Matter of fact, at the time, we led that series. So I really think the Knicks going to take this in series. Like I said, they would surprise me if it be 5. I'll be happy with in Game 5, but I'm going to give it Game 6 the way the Pacers have been playing. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time since the Knicks been in the Eastern Conference Final. And the last time we met them. So, and they beat us in excuse me, they beat us in 4 games. Reggie Miller had a spectacular game against us. So I don't know. Like I said, all I know, we taking them out in 6. We need Anunoby. We definitely need Towns to step up. Y'all just came in. Like I said, we need Towns to step up in this series big time. I know the last time we played them, he averaged what? 40. He scored 40 points. He had 12 rebounds. He really put it to the Pacers. Josh Hart was all over the court. But the regular season is the regular season. And I don't like to really put, because you've seen what the Knicks did, to the Boston Celtics, and everybody came in the series talking about the Boston Celtics was going to destroy the New York Knicks because of the regular season. Tatum went down. They still had the Knicks taking that series. I didn't understand because Brown coming into the series, everybody already knew that Brown was on 100%, but yet they still had the Celtics taking the New York Knicks out. And I'm not surprised that we won this series. I'm going to be real. I said it was just going to be in the 6. And this is going to be a 6. I'm not saying 6 all along, but the Knicks is going to end this series in 6. The Pacers, what they're averaging right now in the playoff, they are averaging 117 points. The Knicks are 106. They're only giving up 100. They're posing teams 112 points. So if they're giving up 112, I'm pretty sure the Knicks is going to be averaging. What the Knicks going to average in this series? I'm going to drop it right now. The Knicks is going to average at least 109, 110, 111 points, but the Pacers is not going to average 117. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks are going to keep them below their average when it comes to scoring. And this is going to be a real fun series. I'm going to be real with you. Excuse me for a second. It's going to be a real fun series. I'm expecting Jalen Brunson to come out and be Mr. Clutch, but I'm expecting him not to have a slow start in the series. I think that Boston game got him going series, and that Detroit series toughened the New York Knicks up. They got the Knicks ready and prepared for whatever come their way. You know what I'm saying? And before I'm gonna get off topic for 1 second, because there was a celebration after that victory against the New York Knicks, which I said was gonna be in Game 6 and at the Garden. And a lot of people was like, it's just, the second round, the Knicks is, advancing to the Eastern Conference Final. But it's been a long time since the Knicks got out of the second round. It's been a long time since the Knicks was in the playoffs. And as much as I riff and get on Tom Thibodeau, he's part of that success. But in the same breath, it was a long time, even with Tom Thibodeau, of us getting out of the second round, that, fans were starting to question him, that if we can't get out of the second round, no matter how much we win back-to-back 50 games season, that it's time for him to go. It's time for him to move on. And he quieted some of us haters. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real, we hating on Tom Thibodeau, and I'm one of them haters because I'm not hate on Tom Thibodeau. I just don't like his offensive approach. Defense, I still think is outdated, but it works. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But what do I expect from Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks coming into this series? I expect a more balanced offense. I expect the same rotation. We're gonna see at least 10 players on the Indiana Pacers. We're gonna see Rick Carlisle run at least 10 players. So, but I still expect the Knicks. The Knicks might go 8. They might go 8. We might see a little more Precious Achua campaign. We know we're gonna see him. I'd rather see Wright over Payne. I'm gonna be real with you. And then Payne he can give you a spark off the bench, but every now and then he just make them bonehead decisions that I don't like. And I think Wright, being that he's a veteran, he always coming, he always seemed composed. So I'd rather see him come out on the court before I see Payne out there. I'm just gonna be real. But Tibbs gonna have to expand to at least a 9-man rotation. You know what I'm saying? That's what was one of his rotations. And we used to argue about Tibbs' 9-man rotation. Right now, I'm dying to see Tibbs' 9-man rotation. I'm be real with y'all. We're gonna have to get Shaman out there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to play at least 9 people in this series. You know what I'm saying? If I know Tibbs like to go and been playing 7 deep. We're gonna have to go 9-man deep in this series. And in order for the Knicks to really, move along, we have to go 9 deep. All right, y'all. So with that being said, we got how many more days for the game? We got Monday, Tuesday, 3 more days. The Knicks, what? They've got a nice little rest. They played Friday, they got Saturday, today. They're gonna have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday again. A 4 days rest. And I think with 4 days rest, the Knicks should be all right. I think the Pacers had almost a week in rest. I think they might have to, get back into that flow of the game. It ain't gonna be too much of a rush. We deep into the season. I mean, it ain't like, the season just started. But I got the Knicks in 6. Halliburton became the Trae Young for the New York Knicks, man. And I don't want to talk about Halliburton because a lot of people say Halliburton was overrated, and you see what the man continued to do. You know what I'm saying? We say he's overrated, but we see what he continued to do. How he come out, he continued to compete and prove that his doubters wrong. But I still have the New York Knicks taking this in 6. I think Brunson is going to be too much for them. Karl every time is going to wake up and start playing like the player we know he can play. But the one thing I'm going to say it again, what Towns going to have to stop doing is complaining about the fouls and going to the ground. And if he fall, he got to get up. He can't turn around and complain to the referee. He's got to get up and get back. What up, Run Dude? How you doing, bro? Salute. Knicks. So you say 7-game series? You saying the 7-game series? I'm saying 6. I'm gonna be real with you. I got the Knicks in 6 again. I'm just gonna be real, bro. I got the Knicks in 6 again. Towns is just gonna have to. Towns, we can't have the flopping and staying on the floor and complaining to the ref. He got to get back on defense, get back in position, and be ready for the Pacers because the Pacers is gonna be running. The Pacers is gonna be Jackie Joyner out there. So we can't have Towns flopping and complaining to the refs. Do that as you walk into the bench on a timeout because the Pacers is going to be running. That transition offense, that's my only concern, but I still have the Knicks coming out in the 6. Still have them taking it in 6. 4-3. I know that. Ron, I want you to think about this. Last year, when the Pacers beat us in 7 games, the Knicks wasn't healthy. We only had Brunson. Brunson was our only real offense. Anunoby went out. Mitchell Robinson went out. Julius Randle was out. And we still, that was a 7-game series. So you have to think about it. This is the only, I'm being generous when I really say that the Pacers is going to take it to 6. Because I really think the Knicks going to take it in 5. But I'm just saying that I'll give them 2 games. I know how they looked against the Cavs, but I'm going to be real with you. The Cavs was pretenders. And I say that because I have no faith in Donovan Mitchell. I'm just going to be real. I have no faith in Donovan. I was happy when we didn't make that move. You know what I'm saying? I just think we got a better deal with Jalen Brunson. Everybody complained about Knicks giving Brunson $104 million. We was laughed at. Stephen A. Smith was one of the biggest doubters and haters when they was like, oh, the Knicks saved how much money to do what? Bring in Jalen Brunson. And look at us 3 years from now. The man gave up almost $100 million to make sure his team was computable. You know what I'm saying? But if you looked at last year and what the New York Knicks, and if you look at the Pacers really didn't make no changes. They basically playing with the same team they faced us with last year. They have rookies, but their rookies not getting that much burn. Now Jalen Brunson have help. Karl-Anthony Towns, Anunoby. We didn't have Mikal Bridges. Miles McBride is playing some of his best basketball. I know that Detroit series he didn't look good, but look at him now. He's shooting over 50%, especially from downtown. So you can, if you really want to go off stats and look at that, you can say the Knicks can take this in 4, but I'm going to be generous and I'm saying 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say 6. Let me know. Somebody tell me, other than Ron Do, there's only one person left here now, but I'm about to say, somebody tell me what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think. What's this series going to be? Because they got the Pacers in 5. I think some people have the Pacers taking this series in 5. And I doubt it. I know how good the Pacers look, but I'm just going to be real with you. Cavs, and I know the record. I know what they did all season long and how they look. But when you come to playing a team, a series where you have to meet that team back-to-back games, the Cavs wasn't ready for that. I don't have faith in Donovan Mitchell. Garland is too small. Come on, they just try to. What's the other guy? What's their forward name? I forget the forward name. I mean, the Cavs wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you look at it. The Cavs was not ready to be a contender. I didn't think the Cavs had any chance of making it to the NBA Finals. And if you was watching me throughout the season, I was saying it. It's not something that just came up in the playoffs. I was saying it all along. Yeah, that's how it looks in this regular season. You know, it's rarely that you have a team win that many games and can't get out of the second round. You know why? Because they are pretenders. They're not playing the same team night after night. They got friendly whistles, and I don't know if you want to say money grab, whatever the case may be, it was looking exciting for a moment. But when it got down to the hard nitty gritty, when the referees were letting you play, you know what I'm saying, you seen who come out on top, you seen who the better team. The Pacers been doing their thing. You cannot lie. You know what I'm saying? But they're not going to be a match for the New York Knicks. And I'm not going off the regular series game. I know we 2-1. I'm not going off that series. I'm not going off the regular series. I'm going off with the facts right now and what the New York Knicks are doing, who we have, and who we like. So I guess what you could say I'm going to the regular series, but I'm just saying the Knicks got this series. I know a lot of y'all don't believe me. I'm gonna say not a lot of y'all, but if you're a Knicks fan, I know y'all already know. But if you're not and you stumble across this channel, y'all can keep doubting the New York Knicks all you want. We going to the NBA Finals, and I do not care who we meet. Once the Knicks get to the finals, I don't care who we meet. We winning it. We are winning the NBA Finals. I said early in the year that the New York Knicks are championship. I talked about my T-shirt I didn't make by design. I said it when the second month of the season, I was calling this team a championship team. I didn't care about how much people talking about the Knicks didn't have a bench, because I do think the Knicks have a bench. I just feel Tibbs don't give the bench enough playing minutes. And that hurts, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to get up Tibbs, you know what I'm saying? But he's going to have to play more than 7-man rotation against Indiana Pacers. And I think in this series, I think Shamet could be successful against the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Being that they do run a quick transition offense, that means that if they get we get a rebound, we can get back down the court and we can force a kick out, and Shamet could be that guy to hit the three, whoever. But the Knicks going to have to play a bigger rotation in order to keep up, because Carlisle played over 11 guys. He used at least 11, sometimes 12 guys on his rotation. What up, Nose? Welcome to the show. Sorry, just getting here. I'm about to get up out of here. Almost Sunday. Got to ready to get up out of here. Well, the Knicks got to play a better. Well, Taves got to play more, a larger rotation. And salute. And when it do come to the 11-man rotation, and like I said, I'm one of them minute police guys, and y'all heard me talking all the trash about Tom Thibodeau overusing the guys, but it's the playoffs, and like I said, I'm contradicting myself. I think that's in the Knicks' favor now. Being that he ran these guys into the ground, they used to it. So when fatigue kick in and they playing on their last breath and their last leg, they don't make the mental mistakes that most fatigue players make. So I don't know, but I know that this is going to be a series with Towns have to step up. We've seen Towns have games where he had exploded for 40 points against this team. So we're going to need him to do that again. We're going to need Towns to come out and have one of them games that he had against this team in the regular season. I see a few of y'all just coming in, so I talked about how Josh Hart and Anunoby is going to be crucial to the New York Knicks' success in this series. But most importantly, Mikal Bridges. I think Mikal Bridges got to average close to 19 to maybe 20 points. If not, Towns going to have to average at least 25 to 26 points, and Brunson going to have to average 30 points. Because this team like to run Halliburton. Like I said, let's go to their averages in this series. You look at Halliburton, he's averaging 17 points and how many assists? 9.3 assists. So you know he gets his team involved in game. Then you have Miles Turner, 16 points, which my biggest concern with Miles Turner is Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart is going to be the main defender on him. I don't know if he's going to contain him. Mitchell Robinson probably play a little defense on him, maybe Towns. Because you know we sometimes bring in the Twin Towers. But when you look at let's look at how Carlisle uses his team. Look at the minutes being played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 players over double-digit minutes. And you got still another player, another 9 minutes out of Walker Thomas, and another 9 minutes out of Thomas Bryant. He used his bench. He utilized his bench. And this might give the Knicks a little problem. But if we can go to, remember how we complained about Tibbs, his 8-man rotation? Sometimes we was like, he need to go to your 9-man. I think he played a 9-man rotation at times in the regular season last year. He's going to have to go that 9-man rotation. He didn't got to do the 11, 10, 12 guys. He stayed with the 4 guys on the bench that you're comfortable with. That means bringing Shamet back in the game, giving Shamet some more time. Now this is the thing right here. Payne, I want to see Wright come in over Payne. And I want to see Hooker Porter in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real with you. Like, we can go 3 bigs at some time, not at once. But when we giving Towns a rest and we want to be big on the court, and because Hooker Porter is not a slow big. He's mobile. He can get up and down the court. I think he's faster than Mitchell Robinson. No, he's not better defensively than Mitchell Robinson. Offensively, yes, he is better than Mitchell Robinson from what I've seen so far. And he's coming from a league, the NBL, which he played decent in, you know what I'm saying? But Tom going to have to do something different in this series. But I keep saying that, but whatever he keep doing, keep working. I'm just gonna be real. I got to respect the man in that category. Whatever he doing is working. We in the Eastern Conference Final. It haven't happened since 1999, but it's happening right now. Towns is gonna have to have a monster series. No, he ain't got to average 40 points, but he's gonna have to average over 20-something points. I know he's averaged 21 points in this series. In the playoffs so far. But he's going to have to average more than that. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time the Knicks and the Pacers met since 2000 in the NBA, conference finals. You see this series, the Knicks take it 2-1. And like I said, the regular season, I don't put no stock in the regular season. But what I want to say, and I'm talking about again, I'm bringing up is last year's playoffs when they beat us. You have to remember that Brunson was doing it by himself. The Knicks coming in relatively healthy. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're not putting out the small little Knicks and injury, but we know their injuries are there. But the Knicks is coming into this series relatively healthy. I think the Pacers is missing, I think Isaiah Jackson, or Stuart Jackson. I think Jackson is his name. So the Knicks, in my opinion, I think we got enough pieces to beat the Pacers. We just gonna have to get out and stop that transition offense and be able to get the defensive rebounds. What do they? How many offensive rebounds do the Pacers average per game? Offensive rebounds. That can't be right. Altogether, they're averaging 41 rebounds, but they're only averaging 6.8 offensive rebounds per game. Check out what the Knicks do over there in that category. The Knicks is averaging 11.9 offensive rebounds and 31 defensive rebounds. Altogether, 43 points. Let me show y'all that as well. 43 points a game. Knicks is averaging 106. Let's go to the three. Let me go. When I come back, we're going to have to go to their field goal percentage as well. That is, the Knicks, shooting as a team, 44%. Field 3-point percent as a team, 35. Let's check out the Pacers real quick. Pacers from the field, 50%. From downtown, they're actually shooting 40%. That's why I'm saying that transition offense, the defense, and y'all all heard me complain about Tibbs' defensive scheme and how they forces the player out to the long two. Well, back in his days, it was a long two, but everybody shoot the threes now. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a very interesting series. I wonder how well Obi Toppin had a good series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to see how he come back out and play against his old coach. I'm gonna be real. Once again, I got some graphics for what they're averaging right now. I just want to see how. I can't wait, man. I'm be real with you. Wednesday night seemed like forever. From Saturday to Wednesday right now. Why? You know what I'm saying? And now you think about it, we're going to be seeing games every 2 games. But as long as the Knicks do what they're supposed to do, come out victorious, I can live with that. I know a lot of y'all feel the same way. Hit me in the comments, you know what I'm saying? I see 4 people out there. Tell me what y'all think. The people that just came into the chat, to the show, what is your prediction? I'm gonna give y'all my predictions. I'm gonna say it again. The Knicks in 6. They might take it in 5. You know what I'm saying? They have the Pacers. The Knicks, once again, the Knicks are underdog. I don't understand how the Knicks are underdog. I'm gonna back up and I'm just gonna go back into that Boston series one more time. I don't understand how the Knicks is the underdog. I'm just being real with y'all. But with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy. God bless and peace.